Okay, this is day 32. I'm reading Reader Come Home by Marian Wolf. This is page 128, letter 6. From labs to laptops in the first 5 years. Don't move too fast. And there's two quotes over there. The first one is by Lisa Guernsey and Michael Levin. Is the real barrier that books can't possibly compete with existing multimedia products for our attention. Let's face it, screen media is the elephant in the room. True understanding of children's literacy in the 21st century is impossible without turning to face this creature and take a long look. And second quote by Andrew Piper. Books and screens are now bound up with one another, whether we like it or not. Only impatiently working through this entanglement will we be able to understand how new technologies will or will not change how we read. That's true. Dear reader, the nursery is the room where it happens. The first moment of my ideal reading life began with an infant on a loved one's lap under the crook of an arm, where the shared touch, gaze, and experience of being read to provide the best of doors into this new gentle realm. Before a baby can utter its first word, this never old physical dimension of the child's earliest experience with reading connects feeling, tactile and emotional, to attention, memory, perception, and language regions in the youngest brain. Perhaps without coincidence, early brain development gives prominence to the network's underlying feelings, even before cognition. I have always been struck by the fact that the infant's amygdala, which is involved in emotional aspects of memory, lays down its neural networks before networks are formed for its close neighbor, the hippocampus, the better known stored place of memory. It is a rather endearing physiological nod to Sigmund Freud, John Bowlby, Mary Ainsworth, and all those early figures in the history of psychology who emphasized the profound importance of early emotions and attachment in a child life. But just because infants cannot articulate their thoughts, it does not mean that they are not processing language, and from the very start. In a fascinating research study, Stanislav Dehaene and his wife, the neuropediatrician Ghislaine Dehaene-Lamberts, looked at the brain activation of 2-month-old infants while they listened to their mothers speak. Using a very comfortable adaptation of fMRI, they found that the same language network that we use for listening to speech was activated in those babies. Their language network simply activated much more slowly in the earliest month of development due to the lack of insulating myelination, which quickly enough would increase and speed transmission among neurons in the various networks. Thus, before most of us possess an inkling that babies could be listening to us, infants are making astonishing connections between listening to human voices and developing their language system. Think how much more can happen in those regions when parents slowly, deliberately read to their children, just to them, with mutually focused attention. This disarmingly simple act makes huge contributions. It provides not only the most palpable association with reading, but also a time when parent and child are together in a timeless interaction that involves shared attention, learning about words, sentences, and concepts, and even learning what a book is. One of the most salient influences on young children's attention involves the shared gaze that occurs and develops while parents read to them. While with little conscious effort, children learn to focus their visual attention on what their parent or caretaker is looking at without losing an ounce of their own curiosity and exploratory behaviors. As the philosopher Charles Taylor notes, the crucial condition for human language learning is joint attention, which he and others who are involved in studying the ontogenesis of language consider one of the most important features of human evolution. We can now literally see what happens to language development when a parent or caretaker reads to the child. New brain imaging research led by the pediatric neurologists John Houghton, Scott Holland, and their colleagues at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center provides a never-before-seen look at the extensive activation of language network in young child who are read to, in this case by their mothers. Hutton's group had shown how active the young brain is when it listens to stories and engages with the mother over all the things they happen to big red dogs and under runaway bunnies and monkeys. Significant changes occur not only in the regions of the brain underlying the receptive aspects of language, which enhance learning the image meanings of words, but also in region underlying the expressive aspect of language learning, which enable children to articulate new words and thoughts. Okay, that's, I'm pretty sure, more like 7 minutes, so I should stop here. Thanks so much. This was Minky. Please correct me if you can. Bye.